Allahu 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 Allah. So mo bananishina
mashina ndi nebo Professor Masudi Misheki mashina ndi mkwai.
So he says this is the Bemba language of the Zambian people, and is actually saying that his name is Professor Masudi. Okay, so he's going to be speaking in Bemba, French, Arabic, and a little bit of English. And what we're going to be doing is that I'm going to be interpreting. Now, Professor Masudi is a very interesting character because he's a man that claims that he has spiritual powers. He can communicate with the Jinn, and he has spiritually advanced knowledge of the occult and everything. And he's going to be telling us who he is because he's opening his new channel on YouTube. So oko mwafumine nikwisa oko mwikala nikwisa originally
ine mkwai uko njikala mzambia pari kano kashita njikala mzambia but nasambira ku France nambire kwati my father of Catholic mkwai after ifyo nasa kuisha okusambire skuli ya father of Catholic mu Paris ku Toulouse. After ifyo twakwisha school eso wasantwala kwisa mukupanga ma first examination ku Roma ku Italy. After Italy twakwisha twabwela again ku France. After France nasabwela again basa tutuma ku Congo DRC Kinshasa na kile mu myaka 3 mkomini de la Gombe aba ifika ku Kinshasa badishiwa.
So according to what he says that he actually stays in Zambia at the moment, and he attended the school for Catholics. So when he wrote exams, he was taken from France to Congo in Kinshasa. In Kinshasa, that's where he proceeded.
After hapo nasauki Kinshasa namba kuombea kwa Kinshasa bafumia mu Kinshasa wasantwala ku Goma ukutasa shupa nako na Askofu Emmanuel Katariko.
So he was taken to Goma, where he argued with the father Kataliko.
After ifyo nabwelele nomba nasabwela muzambia namuna ta inchi toyasa shupa sana fya kuikonga konka ifyo nafilekele nokulemba application ya kubwelela geni ukufileka.
So when he's not a man of arguments, apparently he didn't want to escalate the conflict that was going between him and the Catholic priest. So whilst in Congo, the work became a bit hard, and he wrote a letter to return to Zambia.
After kufileka ero nasa wela kule batata. After kuwela kule batata ni ba Muslimu ni ba Khalidi Wansambu.
So after he leaves Congo, he returns to Zambia, and his father is a Muslim.
After ifyo sanje bati foi kuwa mkutashani mkusambile skulu na mbile mkuya sambila ku Kenya Nairobi kwa milima 2 yakona ile sambilila Arabic language na Islamic Quran.
So he says, after he sees his Zambian father tells him to say, okay, you need a further education. So he goes to Kenya, the capital city of Kenya, which is Nairobi, where he learns Arabic and also learns about the Quran. So just technically speaking, he advances his knowledge in Islam.
After if you wanna push kulia madrasa, after kusamila madrasa ku Kenya, nasa ku Dar es Salaam, nasa samila kuna kwenda madrasa, na puisha ku Dar es Salaam, na isa again ku Tanzania kukwine ku Sengerema. Sengerema ni nchi ndemo itwa ku Mwanza bari abashika ku Mwanza ni kumbali ya mumana Lake Victoria Sengerema. After ifyo kulia nasa bwela geni nasa fika ku Sumbawanga.
Okay.
Nakwena nasa sambili nakwena madarasa pale kaidi mwalishiwe skulu talipwa shufurima afika pa steps mwana pa steps. So ifyo nasa sambila nasa shone ya knowledge ya kuti wa London ifibumbu afya kwa alesa fima jina ti ifya vitwa Jinn.
So apparently he starts moving in his pursuit for knowledge. He moved from Kenya to Congo, from Congo to Tanzania to Dar es Salaam, where he was learning madrasa, and that knowledge gave him the ability to communicate with the creations of God according to him, specifically the jinn.
So nalikuwa tanology afi majini ati jini chinshi jini chibumbwa chakwalesa ichabumbire kwati fine batubumba ifwe bantu.
So the professor is saying, this is a very particular topic that I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in. He's saying that the jinn are a creation of God, just like everybody else. People ask, what is the jinn? So he says the jinn, the professor is saying the jinn are a creation of God.
So ali amajini ati yaba pa mitundu shibiri ifi fine twaba ifwe bantu kwaba abantu abasoma nabantu babipa.
So he says the jinn come in two categories. They can either be good or they can either be bad.
So according nefe ulia bomfya we muna amajini ati ne jini wosalira ati nakula bomfya ujini nakula chitashani nakula landana ujini kuti mwa chitashani kuti mwa lanshana ujini nga musuma kuti mwa nangwela mubusuma nga mubi kuti nayona mububi uyo jini.
So according to him, he says, again, it all depends on the user of those jinn. So the professor here seems to insinuate that a human can make a contract with the jinn. And depending on how you use that jinn, whether for good or for evil, that determines the nature of the jinn.
So after ifyo aya majini ati olo ayo majini ifyo yaba twalikuwa tenshila ishingi shakwita majini ati elo majini ayo aiko tanshila ishingi shakwibetira bakuchi baisa mwalanda na bena akupera obunonshi akupera ififyonse fyolefwaya elo akuchita ukumfuika ukuwina ififyonse fyolefwa para paisa mapaka so.
So he says, according to his knowledge, he says the jinn can be summoned, and when one summons a jinn, some of the desires can be answered. This is very similar because we see this in history, we see this in books. It says that some of those ideas are actually real. The jinn can grant wishes, whether money, whether wealth, whether cars, whether blessings or good luck, depending on the contract and the communication of the person with the jinn. Then he also says there are ways, various ways in which one can summon the jinn, in which one can physically interact with the jinn.
Jinn chintu chisuma sana mubumi according nefe wachisenda we mwini pantu amajini atinango twayayukisha mu history yakwa King Solomon ulotuta mu Arabic mulku Suleiman wa makafara Suleiman.
So he says, according to him, that the jinn are not really bad things, because if we go in the history of King Solomon, of the Quran, of Islam.
So King Solomon uyo mulku Suleiman ale bonfya fi majini fingi sana nokufi bonfya munshirasha kweshonse so alefu abantu no abantu baliambira kumurumbanya kwatiena elesa bati balira bilati lesa yamumperi amakakulana nali amajinati.
So according to him, King Solomon of the Quran of Islam had a lot of jinn, and he used those jinn in the various ways to the point that people started literally worshipping him as a god. They forgot who their god was, and they started to worship King Solomon because of the amount of jinn that he had under his control.
So nga mwabelenga Qur'ani suratul Baqara aya ya 102 ilelanda paruba lwa majini palimu King Solomon efyo alebo mfya majini ati nefyo mutumina ba malaika babiri pakutila bali aba majini pakutila bali abantu baka beshibelesa tikanchi King Solomon telesa alebo mfya fya majini ati lesa ni lesa fyo watu bumba fwe bonsu kumungu.
So it says, according to the surah of the Quran, that Allah sends to the back, Allah sends the malaika, which are the angels, so that people can realize that King Solomon is not God.
So umuchipi apatwalatu alira ageni abalifo okusambirira ekikankala mwiraba ku like ku comment na ku share so pakutila ati twakwata amaka 10 afako nokusambirira ifingi kuchira pali ifi twakula sambirisha majini ni chinshi pantu kwali babantu bamena ngo alesho pikwa na kantu fyaka nono kanwaye kuli bashinganga bamulire ndalama bamuchita sona so nomba apa mwakwata solution kuli Professor Masudi.
So he says He's here on YouTube to share knowledge, to teach, and to guide. For those that have got questions, about the spiritual things, about the occultic things, about the jinn, he's here for them. Professor Masudi is here for them on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe, to like this channel, comment, and leave a like for this video. And expect more from Professor Masudi. And also you can post on the comments your questions on what you'd like, on the various topics that you'd like him to teach you about. Professor Masudi is definitely here for you. Like, subscribe, and just give us that comment. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.